1, 2, 3. That looks lovely. Welcome to the Actors Digest. Today I am joined by Zara Devlin. Zara graduated from the Lear Academy of Acting in Dublin. Was it a few months before you graduated? She went straight into the Abbey Theatre, the National Theatre of Ireland in Raftery's Hill. That performance prompted her the right to be nominated for the Irish Times Best Supporting Actress Award. She then went on to do Richard III with Druid Theatre, and now she is in Glass Menagerie in the Gate Theatre. Quite the journey. Welcome.
Thank you.
Since you started your career as a professional actor, what doubts, if any, have you overcome about the industry?
What doubts?
Was there anything that you were worried about before you went into it? Because obviously you were still in training. Legally speaking, you were still in training, so you hadn't finished training and you were straight in the National Theatre of Ireland. So what doubts did you have going into that experience?
I suppose for me a doubt would have been that I didn't know as many people as other people in the industry did. Mm-hmm. I kind of went in and was oblivious to who people were, and which it actually helped me in the long run. It's kind of helps me to talk to people when you don't really know who they are. Do you know what I mean?
So you said it sort of narrowed your focus in a way, because you weren't saying, oh, that's Mr. Thompson from...
Yeah, it just kind of... So when I went in, I was kind of worried that it's a bad thing that I don't know these people, but actually being in the industry, you do pick it up quite quickly, and it's fine, and it's helped me just to be more confident actually, because you don't really know.
So what aspects, or even what aspect of acting first held your interest?
I was a very shy person growing up. My mum sent me to drama school because just so I could make some friends and be able to speak to people and just gain some confidence. And God, if she could, well, look what's happened now. Yeah. I think they say that acting is the shy man's revenge. When you're on the stage, I can kind of just be the character.
So were you really shy then?
Yeah, I was very, very terribly shy as a child. So it was the one place in the world where I could stand on and be confident.
And what age did you first go to training? Like drama school?
Yeah, drama school.
6. Was 6?
In Oma, Hazel Lawn Theatre School, by the wonderful Sister Angus Fitzpatrick, who died last year, and actually without her, I wouldn't be here. She kind of saw something in me and pushed it, and she was the only one that did that. And I wish that she was here to see this now. But yeah.
Well, did you see and she didn't see you in Richard III, or?
No. Yeah. But yeah, I suppose that was the first thing that I realised being on the stage was like, oh my God. Wow.
Power.
Yeah, you just get a high from it. It's the place where I feel most at home at.
Well then, you said about going on stage. Do you have any, some actors, they have like rituals before they perform, before they go on. Do you have any?
Yes, I have, as I was saying to you earlier, I kind of have a schedule. I need to be in at a certain time. I have to have my food at this time. And I will lie down and I'll do 10 minutes of meditation. I will do just a general warm-up, and then a voice warm-up, tongue twisters. Like, this would all take about half an hour, and then of course a cup of tea. Tea, I think, is the most important.
Do you find that meditation just it narrows your focus and leaves you in a calmer place then?
Yeah, Yeah, it's just, you kind of leave behind everything that you did that day. You know, sometimes I'll come running in and stressed because of such and such. You just lie there, take some deep breaths. That's all it is, it's just lying there.
Breathing.
Do you know what I mean? That's what I do anyway.
How long have you been using meditation?
Well, we did a lot of this in drama school. So I didn't really know anything about it before I went to the Lear, and I didn't think it was very important actually until I realised. And but I do bits and pieces. It's not, I don't go mad with it. I don't want to go mad with it either.
But do you do it when you're not during shows? Like when you're...
No.
When you're... You don't?
And I would like to do that. I'd like to join a yoga class or something, but I just haven't got around to it.
I suppose that's open the door to that.
Yeah.
You know, doing it now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, you say about the Lear. So, what was your fondest memories of your time there, and what do you take from it? What was, you know, what did you experience there that really changed you as an actress, or, you know, forwarded your ability in different aspects of it?
I think for me it was the tutors there. I've never come across people that, like, I would knock on the staff room door at lunchtime and they'll drop their soup or their sandwich to help me, and they enjoy it. I've never seen any teacher in that school in a bad mood, and it just, and I know that they could be going through stuff, but they never let us see it, and it kind of inspired me, like, just wise up, Zara, look at this, like, and they're so youthful as well. You can, do you know,
A sort of zest for life with it.
Yeah, and they've always just inspired me. I think for me and we're all lifelong friends now as well. Even to this day I can knock on the door and ask for help. Again, they'll drop their sandwich and come and help me. Which is so special. And God, I couldn't do it without them.
So you've seen that level of empathy, which was obviously already in you, but from what you've done since, what have you connected most with role-wise?
Laura in the Glass Menagerie. Yeah. I feel like Laura is what my thoughts are inside of myself. Do you know what I mean? And Laura just sits back and she'll say what she thinks and she'll listen, and there's no bullshit with her. And I would love more of that to be me, but she's kind of what goes on in the inside, you know.
So was that the first touching one that you'd found, that you, out of all that you'd done through training, all the roles,
yeah.
Laura's the first?
The one I'm doing right now. Yeah. She's the most incredible character I've ever read. From my age group, a girl my age, she's 24 in June. It's a line in the play. That's why I know that. And when I read the script, when I was auditioning for the play, I read the script. I had read it before, and I think you look at it differently when you know you're going in for it. And I just thought, I have to play this. I need to play this girl. You know?
And whenever you look at a script, it's drummed into, anyone who's trained will obviously understand when I say it's drummed into you, actions, objectives, obstacles. Do you just find your way through reading it? Like, how do you really examine the structure of it, or do you just find it? Like, would you read it over and over?
That's what I do. I read it over and over again. It depends actually with what the show is, but for this show, I read it over and over again, and you find things with the actors, and we give each other ideas, and that's how it's been with this process anyway, for this show. But usually I like to just kind of jump up and just try different things. I think for me, if I did too much work and too much writing, it kind of stiffens things and puts you in a bit of a cage or something. Do you know what I mean? I don't like to do too much
You
work.
feel a little too confined,
Yeah,
too rigid.
yeah. Sometimes you can tell when someone's done so much work because they're trying to do all the notes, kind of. Do you know?
Yeah, it almost becomes too much about doing notes as opposed
Yeah.
to doing.
Yeah, and for me as well, being, especially because this run is the longest. No, it's not the longest. With this size of a part, even this is the longest show run that I've done with a part at this size. It can get very. I like to go on every night and just want it to be different every night. So I love that freedom, because for me that's what I find interesting. I'm not interested in something being the same every night.
Do you ever beat yourself up as an actress? Do you ever say, oh, like, do you have the ability to just say, yep, that was a mistake, I picked the ball up and I run on?
I feel like I'm getting better at it.
Right. So was that a thing for you?
Oh yeah. In college, I beat myself up all the time. I was just so annoyed with myself if it wasn't perfect, or if I got a bad note. Sorry, not a bad note, but a note. Like, oh Zara, you could try this, or I think, don't do that. I'd walk away and I'd be like, oh Jesus, what am I?
You see,
But now I think, look, we're all just trying to get the job done. We're all just trying to make this the best possible show. It's not personal.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I think you just need to survive in this industry. I think you just need to cut all that bullshit and just look. It's just about the work. It's just about, you know. So I'm getting better and better. I still struggle with that. I will beat myself up sometimes, but I'm getting better at it.
Obviously, because you're with seasoned pros. yeah, but you're obviously drawing from that. Like, would you agree with me when I say that you're drawing from? You know, have you discussed that with anyone else that's in the cast with you?
Well,
how they manage their mistakes? Is it?
Yeah, we're all open and we talk, and that's it as well. It's working with the lovely cast in this show. You know, Marty, Sam, and Frank. We trust each other, and you're not afraid of. It's not even about that anymore. God, it used to be about that with me. I'd be afraid of trying things, and just in case, I don't know, it's not right.
It's not in keeping.
But that's not honest. It's not really in my head most of the time. And I think you find that when you're with these incredible people. That's what I've noticed.
Yeah, there's a lot to be taken with such work like Tennessee Williams. Eh?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Depth.
I love this place.
Obviously, you went from Tennessee Williams. You went from Shakespeare to Tennessee Williams. How does the structure differ? So whenever you're working on Shakespeare, do you look at it differently? How?
I was always kind of afraid of Shakespeare when I was starting off in college. When I was looking at Shakespeare, there's a thing you can get on the internet where you can read the Shakespeare play, and then you can read the English. I think it's
Spark Notes.
And you can read the English translation.
Yeah.
And I find that really interesting, because I would read the whole English translation, and it helped me so much to just be like, fuck, that's all that means. Like, and it gave me a lot of confidence for Richard III, and then of course working with, again, incredible actors, and Gary Hines, and you know, it was just working with people that have done Shakespeare for years, and you know, and Marty as well. Marty knows a lot about Shakespeare, and he was at RADA. And
just for the audience, Marty
Ray, sorry. And I learned a lot from that, and I would love to do another Shakespeare scene. I think once you get past that, Shakespeare, I don't think I can reach that. You can't pull it down to you. You pull it down to yourself. You don't reach up. You know, it's not this big God up there. It's just normal.
Which is the case with all of them, really.
Yeah, it's just another play. You know?
And do you look at it like...
And we all have the same feelings now as those characters did in Shakespeare times. We just talk differently.
And do you look at it like it's me doing this or the character? Do you, like you say, Laura, so is it Laura, or how do you look at that?
I think this is your answer. I think this is what I'm taking from your question.
Go ahead.
I like to find characters within. I'll use myself to find the character. Yeah.
There's no going to.
No, it's usually.
And then get.
A kind of version of me with
those circumstances.
frills and things. It's okay.
When you're approached with an opportunity, what is it that usually entices you and attracts you to that particular project?
I get excited with everything. Who's in it? Where the stage is? What theatre is it? Costumes.
So how much do you feed into that then? So I remember when during training we were told about this woman that would always have to, I can't remember the actress, and people would probably know it was a famous actress, I can't remember her name. She would need the shoes. When she gets the character's shoes, she's there. Do you feel any of that with yours? Like with the jacket? Or
but especially with this time as well, the 1930s.
You just feel
we're different. Like, where's my shoes?
You get the shoes now.
This is a typical Laura shoe, and obviously that's different from my trainers. And when you put your feet in that, your whole posture changes. And well, actually, my character has a brace as well.
Yes.
So that was another thing we were working with. Just feeling that, and working with a limp as well.
How has that been for you? Like it's.
Oh, it's been. I never wanted to make this limp a thing.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? I didn't even want to meet someone to go, let's nail something down. I just found it myself because I don't want it to be a thing. For me, it's just. I don't want it to be about that.
Did you take it on the bus then? Did you take it home?
Sometimes. I did a lot of. I noticed a lot of people with limps actually doing this character. You're kind of more observant, so I would kind of weirdly just watch someone that had a bit of a limp and kind of
just find the nuances in it.
Yeah.
So your work, you've also done TV, film. You've done film. So what was the transition like for you then? What aspects of it did you find harder, easier? Up to you. What was it? What stood out?
With film, I noticed the difference for me is with film, actors are almost kind of like the least important people of the production. And there's just a lot of hanging around and you have to keep yourself occupied, and then they'll say action and you're just randomly in a part of a film. Do you know what I mean? Emotionally, you just have to kind of jump right into it.
It doesn't go in the order.
There's no arc, yeah. So I think that was what I found tricky, because I'm only getting into it. Do you know? I thought the food was great. And
catering,
the food is just so good. I eat so much food when we're doing film. But there's nothing like theatre. There's nothing like theatre.
Because you're feeling the audience.
When the curtain opens, it's just up to you. You're the boss. Do you know what I mean? And I love that I can actually do anything. No one can stop me.
Do you feel there's play in it?
Yeah. Of course, yeah. I just find it, I just love that. You have a kind of structure, but I love being live. And I like things could possibly go wrong and all that.
Gives variety.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you come in any of the shows, did you feel that it was coming stale and you'd felt the need to freshen it up in any way?
Yeah. Especially halfway through the run. There was a few shows where it was just like, it was kind of, what's the word I'm thinking of? Autopilot.
Sort of, yeah.
And jeez, that's just, yeah. It's not fun. No, but I love this show so much that it's never really been a problem for this show. It depends on the show. Yeah.
Do you have a particular phrase you like to live by? Like a saying?
My acting teacher from drama school, Hilary Wood, she says to us, acting is simple, but it's not easy. And I like that. It's like you have to kind of go through all this stuff and cobwebs to realise, yeah, it's just that, isn't it? I like that. I like that saying. Yeah.
Zara Devlin. Thank you. Thanks very much, guys.
Thank you.
I do like a clipper.